Shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Muharakah Kadash, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, many blessings and salutations, and to the hopeful elect, the house of David, that by after our die, for whom these epistles are written for in these last days. Shalom to the elect. This lesson is going to be geared towards the realization that is setting in amongst the so-called administration that's ruling this country known as America. All right, we know biblically it's called spiritual Sodom and Egypt, and also this is mystery Babylon that Revelation was talking about. That whore that sits upon the beast, which the beast is the EU and the NATO, right? So in this case, right now you have non-cooperation from their enemies, which is expected. That goes in Ezekiel 38. The Lord said that He would raise up Russia, all right, Gog and Magog, okay, to basically come back into the spirit of their old spirit, which is the Soviet Union. And now they're having cooperation with these other countries. It's making America nervous. So now they're not necessarily getting the cooperation that they used to get by bullying people. That is not the course of action that the other nations are starting respecting or reacting to. So now we're entering into another portion of this enter into World War III, where America has a realization that they're going to have to saddle up with their own allies, so-called. But that's even going to backfire, right? So the Heavenly Father has a spirit on these countries to come against Babylon the Great, and they're doing exactly according to prophecy. This is Jeremiah 50:21. It says, "Go up to the land of Merathaim." Okay, it says, even as this Jeremiah 50:21, it says, "Go up against the land of Merathaim." It says, even against it and against the inhabitants of Pekod. It says, "Waste and utterly destroy after them, saith the Lord Yahweh, and do according to all that I have commanded thee." And then listen, right, as you can see in the geopolitical arena right now, Russia and China and India, right, which we've been prophesying. Hey, our elders and apostles have been prophesying this for a long time. Now it's coming to pass, and you don't hear a fucking peep out of these Christians. Where are you Christians at on these geopolitical issues of the day, huh? Yeah, you guys have nothing to say about what's really truly going on out here. But you got everything to say about our doctrine. You got nothing to say about what's actually going on in the real world. You have no answers for your congregation. Where do you think your congregation is going to go? They're going to go to where the answers are, even if they're disillusioned or uncomfortable with actually hearing the raw truth of the matter. But some of the elect is going to come up and they're going to understand. Hey, look, ultimately, the Most High is the one that's in charge of all this, right? Verse 22, it says, "A sound of the battle is in the land, and of great destruction." Hey, and that's what's coming next. Right now, there's the chess pieces are being moved around, the chessboard. All right, everybody's being put in position. Okay, and there's going to be an excursion. The Heavenly Father is going to allow them to get themselves together. Okay, as far as the enemies of Babylon the Great, which mystery Babylon is America. This is Joel 3:9. It says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty man, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong." And that's what they're doing. They're being positioned right now to come up against Babylon the Great. Babylon is being targeted, all right, for financial attacks. That's what's going on right now. They're separating themselves away from America, and they're saying, we don't need you anymore. That's an attack. At least that's how America takes it anyway. So they're getting ready to try to fight back any way they can. See, right now, the other nations are realizing that the poison that America's been pushing on the rest of the world is not what they need, or at least that's what they think, right? Ultimately, they need Yahweh Ba'Shem Shah to rule. But as it stands, they think that they need to somehow take over from America and continue with the same system, right? That's where they're wrong, but that's what they think. They think that's the remedy. And so now they're being poisoned or they've been poisoned anyway, with the understanding of America, and now they're starting to realize this, and now they're trying to get away from Babylon. This is Jeremiah 51:7. It says, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad, and they're being positioned right now, all right, against Babylon, which is America, to make surgical strikes when time comes. And it won't just be them. It'll be the actual allies of Babylon the Great as well. Turkey's the one to go, right? They're gonna be the first one to go. Germany, and look, and UK gonna be like probably the last. But they're gonna be the ones who's just gonna say, you know what, let's just get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? They're probably gonna be amongst each other saying, look, I'm tired of them having these those reenactments of the Revolutionary War. Tired of those goddamn reenactments. Let's just get rid of them. Those bloody Yankees. And that's going to be the end of Babylon the Great. That'll be the end. Okay? But right now, as we're seeing, there's movement in the bowels, right? So right now, as you can see, there's movement, right? The Heavenly Father sent His Son back, and His Son said this to us as in so many words, that these things were going to happen, but not to be worried, right? Because our protection is coming up from high. We're not worried about World War III, right? All we're doing is prophesying against it, prophesying of it, watching for it, and presenting it unto the people. Ultimately, the elect is going to hear this message, and they're going to come back to the Lord. Okay, that goes into John 10:1. All right, the sheep is going to hear His voice. This is Matthew 24:5. It says, "For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many." That's right. This is red letter. A lot of people going to be coming, saying this and that, the love of Jesus. He loves everybody. He loves you. He loves everyone. That's bullshit. He only loves the Israelites, and not even all the Israelites at this point. He only loves the elect. Okay, because that's whose blood is covered by Him. Okay, that's whose blood He used. Okay, while He was on the earth. All right, that major sacrifice is for the elect of Israel, not everyone else. Okay, anyone else telling you differently, they are Matthew 24:5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach. It says, and shall deceive many. But here's another crucial point, because He's going to give you timing, something to look for as you're waiting for His return. Right? This is Matthew 24:6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. That's right. So He gave you something to look for, a clue to clue in on. As things are progressing, you continue to bring these things out. When you do your lessons and when you write unto Israel, okay, as we're doing, we're making it plain upon tables so that they understand what times they're in. Okay. This is Matthew 24:7. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences, which we're experiencing it right now. Okay. It says, and earthquakes in diverse places, which is happening. They just had one, I think, in Afghanistan, right? It says, all these are the beginning of sorrows. Don't worry. If you're of the elect and you're of the spirit of power of Yahweh Baal Shema Shai, if you're in that mindset of the heavens, if you're thinking of the heavens as what is going to take place, when He gets here with our new kingdom, okay, we're to think on that. I ain't thinking about, being a man that investigates and brings these things out via the scriptures. Yeah, we're supposed to be on top of this. It says watch and pray, but also not to be worried. Okay, your flesh is going to be kind of worried, but the spirit is going to be willing. You lean more on the spirit, the flesh is going to have to follow. Okay, even if whatever comes with that. All right, because remember, Revelation 12:11. Matter of fact, let's get that. Revelation 12:11. Okay, just a spiritual boost. Revelation 12 and 11, it says, and I overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. The blood of the Lamb is Yahushua. It says, and by the word of their testimony, which is the prophecies. It says, and they love not their lives unto the death. They ain't give a shit about this world. This world right here is going to fade away very soon and quickly, might I add, right? We're not worried about the things of this world. We're worried about, not even worried, we're concerned with the things of the world to come. Okay? And that's why we bring out lessons like this, so that you understand the zest that we're following in. We're following in the footsteps of great men that came before us, that prophesied of the things that's coming before, and in some cases have come to pass. But now we're talking about the major ones, which are going to usher in our actual kingdom under Yahushua HaMashiach. Now, this is on RT News. This is Trump says U.S. has lost India and Russia. Now they're being positioned against you, right? He's saying that for a reason, so you understand the severity of where America stands. They know they still have allies for now. For now, they have allies, but eventually, everyone's going to turn on them, and they're going to turn on little Satan as well. Okay. In the article, as we keep getting interrupted, in the article it says the U.S. apparently lost India and Russia to deepest, darkest China. President Donald Trump said Friday in a post on Truth Social. It says the message included a photo of Russian President Vladimir Putin and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi walking alongside Chinese leader Xi Jinping. It says Trump wished the three a long and prosperous future together. It says the leaders had gathered last Sunday at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit in Tianjin, China. It says Putin remained afterward to attend commemorations of the 80th anniversary of World War II in Beijing, where he and Xi presided over a military parade joined by other foreign dignitaries. It says Trump accused Russia, China, and North Korea, whose leader Kim Jong-un was also president, of conspiring against the U.S. And what are we telling you? What the scriptures say? Okay? What does the scripture say? That's why we're telling you, hey, look, nation shall be against a nation. Nation shall rise up against the other nations. And the other nations are pissed off at America in the first place. Okay? Jeremiah 50:1. It says, the word of the Lord Yahweh spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. It says, declare ye among the nations, and publish, and set up a standard, publish, and conceal not. Say, Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. That's right, her images. Okay, the rest of the world sees America for what it truly is, right? There's no buffer to try to keep, in line that great beauty that America used to have amongst the other nations. They used to look at this place as the shiny hill on the city, man, or a shiny city on the hill. They used to look at this place with reverence, man. Now they look at it for what it is, and it's all according to the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shad. This is Nahum 3:1. It says, woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. The rest of the nation see this too, okay? The rest of the nation see this. Yahweh Ba'Shem Shah is making an example out of America. This is Nahum 3:4. It says, because of the multitudes of the whoredom of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. And that's what they do. They give you all this terrible advice and tell you to run your economy and your country the same way. And look at their countries are falling apart just like America. And they're all looking at it like, what the fuck? Why are we listening to them? We need to go back to the old ways, right? They're gearing up. It says, verse 5, it says, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts, which he's showing all the wickedness and the true wickedness that America's doing All right, while condemning other countries being a straight hypocrite, it says, I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness and the kingdoms thy shame. That's right. And you're being shown just right along with those wall humpers over there, the 1948ers. They being exposed too, okay? And they're being cast. We're about to read it, Nahum 3 and 6. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee and make thee vile. You hear about them 1948ers, and ain't nobody got nothing nice to say about them folks. Them folks are completely disgusting. Let's just we ain't got to go into everything. Let's just focus on the fact that when the babies are born, you know, they compete or they commit circumcision by the mouth, man. Okay, they circumcise the children by mouth. They circumcise the children by mouth, which is disgusting. Absolutely, and the children get raped or herpes. Okay, fair use, YouTube, fair use. You can look it up. These are actual things that actually happen by those wall humpers. Okay, giving children herpes by the mouth, man. Disgusting. That's just one thing. There's many others, but that's just one. Okay, that I want you to kind of just, wow. Okay. Nahum 3 and 6, it says, and I will cast abominable filth upon thee and make thee vile and will set thee as a gazing stock. That's right. It says, and it shall come to pass that all they that looked upon thee, Nahum 3 and 7, it says, and it shall come to pass that all they that looked upon thee shall flee from thee and say, Nineveh is laid waste. Who will bemoan her? Whence shall I seek comforters for thee? Art thou better than Populus or your Populus? No, that was situate among the rivers that had the waters round about it. This is America, whose rampart was the sea, and her wall was from the sea. And that's America. That's how you know it's talking about America. Okay, America is situated away from the European powers, so Russia's gonna have to, when they get them nukes shot off, they're gonna have to send the big boys, Satan too, namely. Okay, China's gonna send theirs, the Dong Fang, which means east wind in Chinese. This will be the end of America. Okay, make no mistake about it. And Trump is already sounding the alarm. Okay. The U.S. president has often employed sarcasm in public statements, including in his annual holiday messages directed at people he calls his enemies. Russian officials that dismissed the notion of a conspiracy. Putin's foreign policy aide, Yuri Yushakov, told reporters that Trump's comments appeared to be made in jest. No, it wasn't. At the Eastern Economic Forum in Vladivostok, on Friday, Putin emphasized Russia's interest in constructive relations with Washington, but that's not what's going to happen. The Lord wants war, okay? He wants war, and that's what's going to happen. Nobody is going to get around what the Lord wants, okay? Always remember Exodus 15 and 3. Exodus 15 and 3, the Lord Yahweh is a man of war. The Lord Yahweh is his name. That's right. He will swear by his name that he's going to destroy Babylon the Great. Babylon will be destroyed. It's already there. Okay? This is Jeremiah 49 and 13. For I have sworn by myself. He said the Lord Yahweh is his name. And he's swearing by his own name. Listen to this, Esau. All you fucking Edomites out there, listen up. This is Jeremiah 49 and 13. It says, for I have sworn by myself, saith the Lord Yahweh, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste. He said, as I stand today, the Lord, my name is Yahweh, I'm going to destroy those places. I'm going to destroy your cities. And this goes back into what, Micah 1 and 3. They shall build, but I will throw down, right? You built up America. This is the second leg of the Roman Empire. Now he's positioning all your enemies around you, and they're getting ready to drop you. Okay. Jeremiah 49:14. I have heard a rumor from the Lord Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her and rise up to the battle. And that's what's going on. That's what's going on. And that's what's going on. That's where we find ourselves right now in prophecy. We're finding ourselves right in that thick of the positioning of the chess pieces moving around the board by the Lord, and Esau can't keep up. It says, "For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men." This not what's going on right now. He's being looked at and said, "What a piece of shit." And now everybody's like, ugh. Even the 2/3 are like, ugh. But you get on YouTube, you can't say their name. You can't really go in on what they really do because YouTube is owned by those people. They're gonna strike your videos, take your channel down, all type of nonsense, just for speaking the truth. They don't like that. They would rather you lie like everyone else, like they do. Okay? We who believe on the truth say no. We would rather just tell the truth. Okay? Verse 16, thy terribleness hath deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart. It says, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill, right? The height of the hill is the top. So that's where you are. You're at the top right now. You're known as the top people on the planet Earth. They try to deny it now, but in the 50s and 60s, they were proud to acknowledge this. It says, that holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, which that right there is a context clue. Who represents the eagle highly? It did in Rome. America, is that not the American eagle, right? Hell, they even got a damn clothing line that made controversy, right? With Sydney Sweeney, right? You know, she's a beautiful little white woman. I ain't gonna lie about that, right? Says she got good genes, right? Name of the genes is American Eagle, right? Okay, moving on. It says, and I will bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord Yahweh. So he's bringing you all the way down. Also Edom shall be a desolation, and everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. And the main plague is going to be them intercontinental ballistic missiles, okay? Which the Lord right now is positioning everybody to come against Babylon. Ultimately, that's where we're headed. That's the destination. Jeremiah 50:13, it says, because of the wrath of the Lord Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished, and hiss at all her plagues, just like he said in 49. This is 50. All right. What's the main plague? Jeremiah 50:14. Put yourselves in array against Babylon, round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord Yahweh. So when you hear these rumors of wars, these are just birthing pains. You know, when the baby is born, that's when them nukes are going to be shot. Okay, that's what it's likening unto. So please understand, the Lord is not to be effed around with. We're in the find out phase, right? You've messed with the Lord's people for long enough. The Lord has saw all the iniquities that you have done. Now it's time for you to pay for that. And that's what they don't want. But see, the key to this is that the Lord's going to go all the way back to the beginning. All the way back to when your spirit was still Cain. When you were the Canaanites out here doing despicable, terrible shit to the Israelites, or who at the time was called the sons of God. Okay? And you got to pay for all that. That's why these nukes are going to be super duper hypersonic. Okay, this is Zechariah 14 and 12, and this shall be the plague wherewith. Remember that plague, the Lord said he kept promising that he was going to give unto you. He swore by his name he's going to destroy Babylon. He swore by his own name. You think the Lord makes promises and don't keep them, huh? This is Zechariah 14 and 12, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Look, you thought you were fighting against a lowly people. All you dirty ass Edomites. You thought you were cracking jokes and making all these goddamn cartoons and these fucking fucked up ass movies. Okay, all these racist ass movies. All right. You create all these fucking programs and then you come down and you lock everyone up. Okay, you giving them higher incarceration rates, right? You keep quoting these stupid crime stats, and then every time you get back in the corner, you go holler, Chicago, Chicago, Chicago. The Lord heard all that shit. Understand what I'm saying? The Lord heard all that shit. He's going to do something about you very, very soon. Don't you worry. Okay, this is Zechariah 14 and 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord Yahweh will smite all the people. He said he's going to smite you. All the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. That's right. You looked upon our nakedness, meaning you didn't try to help us. You made sure that even when we came out of slavery, you developed something called the Black Codes. You came up with redlining. You came up with Jim Crow laws, huh? You perpetually wanted us to stay at the bottom. You didn't try to look for it. Oh, we let you out of slavery. The fuck you did. We fought for that. Matter of fact, the Lord is the one that that put the spirit on you to ease up. We're still in slavery, but we just say the Lord didn't want us to keep getting beat like we were. That was enough. You wanted to keep it going. That's why the Lord he racking it up. He's keeping a tally. The Lord requires that which is of old, man. You got a lot of Edomite women that be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I want a love that doesn't keep score. The fuck out of here. The Lord keeps score. And how could you love anyone more than the Creator himself? So the Lord has ordained that your time is almost up. Okay? Isaiah 47 and 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt be no more called tender and delicate. We ain't calling you white no more. Your actual name is biblically Esau, the Edomites. That's what you are. That's what you are going to be called from this point on. You are the Edomites. We say so-called white because a lot of our people are ignorant. They don't understand that you made that shit up in the 1600s, okay? You made that shit up, right? Take the millstones and grind the mill, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be unseen, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. That's right. So your shame is being seen. The rest of the world sees you for what you are, and you're going to be destroyed as a part of the remedy. Right? As a part of the remedy, you will be destroyed. Jeremiah 50 and 14, it says, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows, for she have sinned against the Lord Yahweh. Shout against her round about, and she have given her hand. Her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh. Take vengeance upon her, as she have done, do unto her. That don't sound like something nice. So, as Trump continues to realize that America is on its own, even the wall humpers ain't going to be able to help them because they're going to be destroyed too. Okay? That's going to be a truly glorious day. Those people are fucking scum. All right, so I just want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, Bashim Harakakadash, Shalom to the elect.